Well, there we are. Hello and welcome to the Pop Podcast. Thank you for joining us. We're back from the unannounced break that we had a little bit over the summer, and I have with me this morning Ken Kroker. So Ken,
Good morning.
Thanks for being here. If you're tuning in and you're still wondering, like, hey, what is the Pop Podcast about? We're hoping that this is a portion of peace for you as you drive somewhere, as you're walking somewhere, as you're doing something in your house. We hope that the people that we talk to and the topics that are brought up are, one, going to be about Jesus. So we're already on a good start because that's the Prince of Peace. And then hopefully they're bringing some peace into your life, whether that's through a conviction challenge or just hearing great conversation. So thanks for tuning in. If you've tuned in a bunch with us, then you know that we start each one with a drink. So let me grab that. Ashley got us Olipop, strawberry, and vanilla. It's a new kind of soda, Ken. So I'm going to give you the less damaged one. She must have picked these ones up off of the floor after they had dropped or something.
Someone dropped them.
Yeah. So hopefully they don't explode. They've been sitting long enough. But at the end of the podcast, you're gonna have to rate the drink. So we don't want to know what your thought is right this moment. But cheers.
Cheers. Don't make faces.
Yeah, exactly. We want it to be covert. But at the end, we'll talk about it. So Ken, you are well known here at Cold Springs Church in Northern California, and you're well known for your love for Jesus and kindness. How did life with Jesus start? Was that something that you grew up with? Was there a moment? How did you become saved?
Well, I did grow up in it. Was raised in a Christian family. My mom and dad were Sunday school teachers, actually 39 years teaching junior high kids.
Oh, wow.
Which tells you about their patience.
Yeah, their character, integrity, yes.
And so being who I was, for whatever reason, I kind of rebelled against that. Mm-hmm. And kind of went through motions, went to church because I had to.
Yeah.
Was in the youth groups because I had to. Memorized some verses because I had to.
Yeah.
But it wasn't really in my heart. Well, then I went to college. My first year in college was at local Bakersfield JC. And a friend of mine, his name was Ron, took me aside a couple times and said, "Can you help me with the summer program for youth group?"
Yeah.
I said, "Really? You want me to?" And he said, "Yeah, because I know we can do it together." So in the midst of this, I went by his house one day because I worked for one evening because I worked for his mom and dad.
Yeah.
I was in charge of a crew. We made grape boxes. And I had to turn in a timesheet so we could get paid in a couple of days. Mm-hmm. And I was by late, and he went by my house trying to hunt me down because I was on his heart that day. And I never showed up because I had his house talking to his mom and dad. Then he came home. "Oh, here you are." And I said, "Yeah." And he says, "You want to play a game of pool?" We shot a lot of pool. Mm-hmm. Had a nice pool table. And I said, "Certainly." So we played a round of pool, and then one more. Okay, one more. And I said, "Ron, it's 1 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
I have to get up at 5.
Uh-huh.
I need to go home sleep a little bit." And so he said, "Okay." So I go out and get my car, and I turn it on, and he gets in the passenger side, reaches over, and turns off my car. So I'm going, "What are you doing?" He said, "I got to talk to you." And right there, he laid it on the line that I need to follow Jesus Christ, that I was faking it, that I was going through emotions. And he said, "God needs to get in your heart." So we prayed right there in my car. Thank goodness he turned it off because we could hear each other that way.
Yeah.
And then we hugged, and I thanked him for being so persistent.
Yeah.
And he says, "Well, when you get home, you got to wake up your mom and dad and tell them." I said, "It's now 2 a.m.
Yeah.
They will want to hear the story now." So I did go home and share that with my mom and dad. And they did want to hear it. Huh?
You woke them
I
up
woke them
out
up
of their
oh,
slumber. Yeah.
But they thought it was worth it. At least they
Yeah.
said so.
Yeah. Huh, that's really
So that's
neat.
my story in a nutshell. But yeah, I was kind of
Yeah.
raised in it, but kind of didn't get into it. So then Ron, being the young life leader at McLean High School in Fresno, because he was going to seminary, our church seminary in
Oh, cool.
Fresno.
Yeah.
So then I went to Fresno Pacific, and I got in there on a basketball scholarship. And
Wow.
Ron was next door at the church seminary. He says, I want you to help me lead this young life group.
Huh.
I said, what's that? So he explained it to me. I said, okay, I'll help you. So I went to the first couple, and then he had to move on to a project for his seminary teaching.
Mm-hmm.
And said, you're now going to run this club. I said, you want me to get up in front of those 250 high school kids every week and talk to them about Jesus? He said, yeah, that's what we do. I said, okay. So I became the McLean High School Young Life Leader.
Wow.
So I was feeling my way along and getting kicked in the butt by him, and
Yeah.
we made it.
Yeah.
We made it.
So you went to you were in college at this point?
Yeah.
So you went to college on a basketball scholarship. How did I not know this? That's incredible. Was basketball like a sport that you played all growing up?
Yeah, I played in high school,
Yeah.
but basketball at Fresno Pacific was it was not a Class A.
Yeah. Not
College.
Division I. Yeah.
So we had fun,
Yeah.
and it paid tuition. Tuitions are
Well,
expensive.
that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying is that you must have been decent at least for them to pay for you to go there just to play basketball.
6'2", 200 pounds, and a power forward. Go figure. I wouldn't even
Boom.
make guard now.
Yeah, you wouldn't. That's true. That's very true.
Now I'm a short little guy.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess that's true.
So that's my story, how
Yeah.
I came to follow Jesus.
Yeah.
And then got thrown into not thrown into, that was God's leading, obviously.
Yeah. How
And
long did you do Young Life?
I was a young life leader in Fresno for 5 years.
Wow.
When I graduated, then I got sent to Monterey County with AT&T. That's who I went to work for because my dad worked for them.
Yeah.
And I got over there, and there was no Young Life. So I started talking around, and they said, oh, you got Young Life experience. We want you to head up our board of directors.
Wow.
I said, well, that's easier than going,
Yeah.
being on campus all the time and all that. So I gathered together some guys, and we put together a board of directors. They call them a committee.
Yeah.
Where we raised money and tried to give guidance to the guys out there in the field actually working with kids.
Yeah. That's really cool. So God, I mean, really used someone to bring you to him and then quickly turned you around to tell others about him.
Yeah, because Ron and I, when we knew each other when I was working for his dad.
Yeah.
But he wasn't following Jesus, and I certainly wasn't.
Yeah.
And we were out carousing late at night and, doing things that college kids do.
Mm-hmm.
And not quite getting in trouble. We just didn't get caught.
Yeah. Yep. Huh. So now, something we were talking a little bit about before that I'd love to hear some stories around, and even just the vision of, is that you have like a bar ministry.
Yes.
So talk to me about that. How did that start? What's kind of the vision of that, and what are maybe some stories that you could sprinkle in?
Well, the vision started to. It didn't start with a vision. It started with me meeting a friend that I tried to share my life with, my Christian life with, and he would never meet with me. But he was a bartender.
So you had a meeting place.
So we had a place to meet. And we met there, and lo and behold, over a period of 6 or 8 months, he actually turned his life to Jesus and became a Christian. I mean, he went through rough times. He got a DUI and stuff like that, and went down the wrong path because that's what he did. I could relate to that because that's what I did.
Yeah.
So, and now I keep that going. Do I hang around bars? Yeah. There's a lot of people searching for life's answers in a bar.
Yeah.
And not just for the drinking, but for talking to somebody and
Yeah.
finding somebody who
Connection.
cares, a
Yeah.
connection. And if you walk into a bar, it doesn't take long to figure out who kind of is in that position.
Yeah. So what do you look for? What do you see when you see someone that's in that position? When you say it's not hard to figure it out, what are kind of the things that go off for you?
Well, some people keep looking at me, and they don't know me, and I don't know them.
Yeah.
But then I'll go down and talk to them and say, well, how's life going? Just a casual thing. How was today?
Yeah.
And people in that situation open up right away.
Yeah.
My day was terrible. In fact, my life is terrible, and
Yeah.
that's the way it goes.
So how long have you been doing this intentional, just stepping into a bar to talk to people about Jesus?
Probably, anyway, 18 years, 19
Wow.
years.
Yeah.
And when I travel, and I used to travel a lot, even to other countries, same thing.
Yeah.
People are people.
Yeah.
and they want to feel like they belong. And one place you can belong is in a bar and buy someone a drink. Now you've got someone to talk to. Maybe not on the right stuff because they're probably not geared right, and the guy they're talking to is not geared right. But eventually,
Yeah.
a friendship gets formed.
Yeah, for sure. So what are some of the surprising things that have happened as you've intentionally walked into bars and hung out?
This one guy I was talking about who was a bartender, then he wanted his wife to talk to me. Well, I kind of knew his wife, but not really well. So we connected. And then he wanted me to talk to his kids. So he got his whole family.
Yeah.
He got his whole family involved.
Wow.
And
All at the bar?
well, the kids were too young. So then we started meeting at his house or other places.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking about getting him a fake ID, but that wasn't a good idea.
So you had 8 months with that bartender, you said, before he accepted Jesus.
Yeah.
What had you be there so long? Because I think a lot of people, when they have people in their minds that they're like, oh, this person needs to hear about Jesus, they'll spend they'll spend a week or maybe something like that. But 8 months is a long time. So what kept you there for 8 months, going back and back again?
Well, number one, God tugging at my heart. And number two, he was saying enough positive things,
Yeah.
even though he hadn't made a commitment to turn his life over to Jesus.
Yeah.
But he's saying enough positive things and asking questions. So I knew he was growing, at least mentally. So
Yeah.
between God and I, we got it moved from his brain to his heart.
Yeah. Yeah. Huh. That's a really good point, because I think some people may spend 8 months beating their head against a brick wall of someone that's like, nope, I'm not interested, and kind of that posture. And it's important that there's some positive movement.
Yes, and I think a person like, if this guy was that way, he would have told me to flake off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for
But
sure.
he had enough interest and enough concern about his own life to want to continue the chats.
Yeah.
And Bible verses. I brought him stuff to read and scriptures to pursue and give me
Yeah.
his ideas on. And
Yeah. So you have a rule that you told me about before. So would you mind sharing, what's your rule for people after the third time that you meet them, at least?
when I first meet somebody, of course, you want to influence them
Yeah.
on your faith. But my rule is, if I haven't done that by the third meeting with them, then I failed Jesus. Because he always creates the opening. I don't.
Yeah.
I don't want to
Yeah.
hit him over the head with the Bible. I'm not a
Yeah,
preacher, but I'm there just to share life.
Yeah. How did you come to that by the third time? How did that come about?
Well, after a while, I just said, Ken, you're dragging your feet. You've met with this guy now 5 times, and when are you going to get to the heart of the matter?
Yeah. Yeah.
And so I think God laid that on my heart. Step up quick.
Yeah.
Let God do his part, because we don't touch hearts. Thank goodness, we'd really mess that up, but he does.
Yeah.
And you can tell when someone's shifting their thought process and their willingness to listen by the questions they ask.
Yeah. Yeah. That's really going to shift things or move things in the right direction.
Yes.
Yeah. So you, again, since you've been, how long have you been at Cold Springs here in Northern California?
Well, I think Dave said he's been here
27
7
years.
years.
Yeah.
So I've been here
yeah.
probably 26 or 25.
Okay. You came
Because when I
shortly
first
after.
came, I was church hopping with my wife, and this is the second church we went to. The first one wasn't us. Came here, and the first Sunday, it was funny because I knew Dave was new because some of the things that were being said. But Patty, my wife, and I saw him walking down the sidewalk with his wife, I know now, and he had his arm around her. Well, he's so tall and Pam so short. So I thought it was just a high school kid he was talking to because we were seeing him from the back.
Yeah.
So, but our second time here, we just loved it here and stayed.
Wow. That's really cool. So I am a late comer to Cold Springs, so to speak, just because of my age and time. So really when I got to know you was through Patty's gift and through the stories that were around that. So tell me a little bit about your wife and while she was here, what influence she had on this community.
Oh, wow. Well, she came from a family that was struggling. Money wasn't prevalent.
Yeah.
And so they were the family that people brought, dinners to and that sort of thing. So she really got involved in that because it touched her life so much as a kid. And so whenever she saw a need, she would step in there.
Yeah.
And make food, take food, buy whatever it took.
Yeah.
The needs are all different, but she would recognize them. She had a sensitive heart. And I was so blessed to have her as my wife because we were married 36 years. And I thank God it was not 23 or something less.
Yeah.
But I'm a little ticked off, God, that it wasn't 45.
Yeah. Yeah.
She taught me so much just through her heart and sensitivity towards others.
Yeah. You were telling me before this about a story with an iPad and a kid. I'd love to hear that.
Okay. Well, being part of the bar ministry.
Yeah.
Patty and I were sitting in the bar. In fact, there's an unfortunate photo floating around when the bars got closed down for COVID.
Yeah.
On a certain day, I forgot what day, the night before, Patty and I were in there in the bar, and the photographer came by and took our photo. It was from our backs, but you could tell it was us.
Yeah.
And everybody's always given me a bad time for that, breaking the law of showing up when the bar is closed. But anyway, the bar was open, and we met this gal, and she had struggled with some mental issues and had been in and out of institutions, and but her life had straightened out, and you could tell by talking to her how interested she was in getting better at life. And we tried to share, and we shared our faith, and Patty did as well. And I said, well, what is your goal? She said, my goal is to get into school. And she came from a family where they didn't encourage school. Her mom and dad didn't go to college or anything. So she said, but I need an iPad because it's all online. So, and there was not the funds in their family to do that. So I get the kick under the table from my wife, meaning let's buy the iPad. I said, well, let's talk to you tomorrow about that iPad. And so we did. We went home and talked and what size and how big and all that. And so we bought her an iPad. And to her credit, with not a lot of help from siblings or home, because none of her siblings were in college then.
Yeah.
She's going to graduate Sac State
Wow.
the end of this year,
Wow.
and has applied for a master's. So she's a real student.
Yeah.
She's smart and she's energetic.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Man, that marriage communication, right? The kick
Yeah.
to the shin.
Well, you can tell how by the strength of the kick.
Yes.
How important it
How
is.
passionate. Yeah. Yeah, that's what 30 years of marriage, huh? Yeah.
Yeah. Each kick means something different.
Yeah. Yeah.
If it's
Different
a glancing
location.
blow, then
Yeah.
not that important.
Yeah.
But dead on.
Yeah. I need to absorb some of this wisdom. I think it would help me in my marriage.
Oh, it'll come.
So yeah, like I said, I was really introduced to you guys through Patty's Gifts. So when Patty had passed away, Cold Springs did Patty's Gift. So talk about that a little bit and that process. Was that, I can't imagine that would be necessarily easy, but definitely gave tribute to her. So yeah, talk about how that came about and what that
I think
meant.
that came about from David.
Yeah.
And he knew her, he knew me, he knew us,
Yeah.
and how we were plugged into the community.
Yeah.
And how she had this soft, caring heart for people that were hurting, regardless of where they're hurting. Health, food, clothes,
Yeah.
basics.
Yeah.
And so he instituted that. And I think most of those funds there was a lot of money raised. It shocked me.
Yeah.
And so the community was recipient of that through, Boys and Girls Clubs and institutions like that. Knowing teachers who knew kids who were struggling and just however.
Yeah. So just to give a little bit of background on that, every year Cold Springs Church does a Christmas giving project. And after Patty had passed, we did the Patty's Gift, where we just took in money from the church and then it went out to different situations that of need within the community. And we already had our community care fund where we were already kind of doing that. And this just like bolstered it. So I was actually kind of a part of the team of helping to, if someone needed their registration for their car, I would go to DMV with the money and pay the DMV and stuff like that. So I know on my end, it was really, really cool to be a part of that, to be in the community and to help with the needs that were there. And yeah, it was clothes, it was school supplies, it was registration, it was gas, it was whatever the small or big need was to be met.
And all legit, yeah.
Yeah.
It wasn't people trying to...
There was a whole system of vetting and weeding out people that were trying to take advantage. And it was run well and a really cool season for sure.
And what a great honor to her because that's who she was.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's we always want to make memories with our families and in our communities. But then there almost feels like there's another level of legacy memories. And for Patty, that's it. That's what it was. Patty's Gift.
Patty's Gift, yep.
Yeah. It's really cool.
So that's how it started, yeah.
Yeah.
And the funds were amazing. I just am in awe.
Yeah. Yeah, it was really cool. I forget what the number was, but I know it was above 100,000. It was a lot. It was really, really cool. So now in this stage of life of you being at home and just still, you're retired, right?
Well, yeah. I'm in the process of turning the company over to my daughter.
Oh, cool.
And her son, my son-in-law, her husband.
Yeah.
And it's almost done.
Yeah. So what's your company?
Western Trading.
Okay.
Is the name.
Yeah. And what does it do?
We trade edible dry beans domestically and internationally.
Okay.
Any kind of bean, pinto beans, lima beans, kidney beans, whatever. And there's some offbeat beans that other countries eat. And we got into that, as well as some popcorn and hominy and bulgur wheat.
Okay.
Dry goods.
So how did you get into that? Did you start that company? Did you take it
Yes.
over? Yeah. So how did you get into starting that?
Well, after working for a couple of corporations, McCormick Schilling, AT&T, I realized I was not a corporate soldier. So I wanted to become the, quote, entrepreneur. So I tried to buy a company, and I knew the owner, and he was an amazing guy, and we were good friends. And it was a really, really good deal. What he wanted for it and what I was willing to pay for it was right in line with each other.
Yeah.
But then 3 weeks before we were going to consummate the deal, I said, Frank, that was his name. I said, have you talked to your sons? I said, this is such a good deal. He said, oh, I've talked to them, but none of them want to do it. And I said, well, if one of them does, you might want to give that son one more shot because in a couple of weeks it's going to be too late. And so he did. Unfortunately, his son stepped up and said, yeah, Dad, I would like to do that.
Wow.
So that good deal went down the...
So what I want to slow down there. What prompted you to go, this is such a good deal, you should talk to your kids? Because most others would say, this is a great deal for me.
Let's sign it and
let's
get it
go.
done.
Come on, let's hurry it up before your sons get involved.
Yeah, well, I try to be fair and honest and ethical, and I put myself in his shoes. He was a bit older than me, and in fact, his oldest son, who ended up with the business, was close to my age. And I thought, man, if they have any inclination to be an entrepreneur, you don't want this to get out of your family, because he started the business.
Yeah.
It was a food service business. And I met him because I ran all the food service for McCormick Schilling, because we had full-blown cafeterias for all 3 shifts. And then we had vending machines that he'd have his people put sandwiches and snacks in for people who didn't want full-blown cafeteria food.
Yeah.
And it made good money, and it was well established, and he had good staff, and so and I never had met his son. I didn't even know who this guy was. I've heard his name before, but never meet him.
Yeah.
So that's why I said, Frank, you need to double check, because there might be someone on the fringe, and there was, as it turned out, and there might not have been. They might have all said, forget it, Dad. We've been down this road. We still don't want to do it.
Yeah. Yep.
So just trying to be a fair businessman about the whole thing.
Yeah.
So then I tried
and I would push to say that's more than fair. That's even looking out for him and of no benefit to you. That's love. That's cool. So then, okay, so after that deal goes sideways because you're so kind, what happens after that? Where do you go?
Well, then I tried to buy another business. It was the office supply company.
Okay. Office Depot or something?
Yeah, one-of-a-kind private thing. I don't think... I'm a little older than you, so I don't think there was Office Max around then or whatever.
Okay. Got it.
So it was a one-of-a-kind deal, but we couldn't agree on the price. He wanted too much money for it. So I said, okay. So I said, what do I do now? So I sent a resume to a blind P.O. box that the Wall Street Journal had. But the P.O. box was in Chicago, and I'm living in Monterey.
Okay.
I'm going, I don't want to live in Chicago, but let's see. Who knows? Another move by God, because I sent it anyway. Yeah. And I got a call. I got a call from a guy who happened to be a bean trader. The mayor of Salinas, right in my backyard. So I didn't have to move.
Wow.
So I went and learned the business from him, the technical side and all that. And one weekend after about 6 months, I was doing all the export and imports. And I was working in the office, and he was in there. So I went in to see if I could help him. I mean, he's the boss. And he said no, and I started looking at what he was doing. He was altering grade certificates. He was taking stuff that said the beans were number 3, and he was whiting out and doing all that, making it number 1. Yeah. And on the bottom of the grade certificate it says felony. Wow. Punishable by 6 months in jail, $100,000 fine. Wow. So I said, Jim. He said it came back wrong. I said, give me the lot number. I went back and looked at the sample. I said, these are number 3s. Did you submit the right lot?
Yeah.
Yep, that's the right one. That's the one I'm shipping. So right there, I thought, man, this guy, I can't work for him.
Yeah.
It was a Saturday morning. I said, Jim, I'm giving you my resignation verbally, and I'll give it to you in writing Monday. And driving home, I thought, good move, Ken. You're married with 2 kids and now no job. But God has this way of taking care of that.
Huh.
So I had a good friend that was an attorney in town.
Yeah.
So I went to him. He said, Ken, don't talk to anybody. He'll accuse you to come into work for him. Anybody in the business, he'll accuse you of coming to work for him to learn his customers and suppliers. And so I didn't. And people were calling me at home. I mean, this is pre-cell phones. So we were
Yeah.
home landline.
Yeah, the landline stuck to the wall with the cable.
Yeah.
Man.
So, but he said, wait. And he said, in the meantime, we'll set up a new company. And he did all that legwork. And so after 30 days, he said, go for it.
Wow.
Because that waiting 30 days is kind of the safety point
Yeah.
for someone suing you. So hence I started Western Trading.
There you go. Wow.
September 79.
Man. Okay, so it's just jumping out to me that you had this deal on the table for a company and you said, hey, go to your sons and make sure, because this is just too good of a deal. And then you shoot out the Hail Mary and you don't have to move, and then you're in a bean trading company and you find out that they're not being completely honest. So your integrity and character along the way, God brought you to starting the company that you're at now.
I think he honors that.
Yeah.
He did for me for sure.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, I was driving home and I have no job now.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was not a good move.
And how easy would it have been to see your boss fudging the records and to have that over him to blackmail him for a promotion or whatever position you wanted in the company or whatever else, right?
More money, whatever.
More money,
yeah.
whatever. So again and again, when you took the, okay, I'm going to operate out of integrity, it seems like God has blessed you. Like you said, acknowledge
As he
that.
promised he would.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he didn't lie.
Yeah.
Many examples in my life where he has pulled me through and shown up unexpectedly.
Yeah.
Not totally unexpectedly. I mean, I'm praying and
Yeah.
and asking him for guidance and asking him to help me solve this issue maybe that I'm in the middle of that's negative.
Yeah.
And he's there.
Yeah. Man. And then the company that you started, how long has that been? You said you were in Monterey, so that was a while ago.
Yeah, that was I started that in September of 79.
That's right. Yeah.
And then
That's right.
because my ex-boss, this guy that was the mayor, I didn't want to be in the same town as him. Plus, I like to ski, I like to fish, and I like to. And
Yeah.
over there, you have to drive clear over here to the
Yep.
foothills.
Yep.
So, I convinced my wife it's a good move to go to the foothills. So we traveled twain all the way up and down the foothills looking for the spot.
And you found it?
Yes, I think God led us into that.
Yeah. That's really cool. And the company's been successful?
Yes, more than I could even imagine.
Yeah. That's really cool. So now that you're in this working towards retirement and almost there, how cool is it to be able to pass that on to your family? I mean, talking about the company that you almost bought, of like, hey, make sure your kids get a shot at this because of X. And now that's exactly what you're doing 30 years later or whatever.
Exactly. Well, God really blesses in many ways. A couple of years ago, I became friends with a Cuban expatriate. He lived in Cuba, and his family farm, or his mom and dad's.
Yeah.
And he and his sister, the farm was taken by Castro, and they got shipped to Miami in one of those camps.
Yeah.
And then he was in a group that got shipped to L.A.
Wow.
But the family was intact, but he was in that group. So he gets there and he went to UC Irvine, or Rivers Irvine, and got a degree.
Okay.
And he's totally bilingual.
Yeah.
And he went to work for a friend of mine doing beans, selling beans in City of Industry.
Okay.
And then he came to me one day and said, Ken, I need a little business help and financial help, and guidance, I want to start my own bean company. I said, there's room for all of us.
Yeah.
So I gave him what financially and managerial
Yeah.
things he had to watch for and do and have procedures in place. And he got it started and became successful. And he said, Ken, if I ever sell this, I'm coming to you first.
Yeah.
Well, 2.5 or 3 years ago now, he came to me.
Huh.
And so we bought that company.
Wow.
And we worked it out so we didn't have to write him a check for the whole thing. We negotiated the amount.
Yeah.
And that I was willing to live with, and he was too. And I said, well, Ray, I'm not going to write you a check for this, millions of dollars. I said, what I'm going to do, well, less than $2 million, finally. And I said, what I'm willing to do is pay you 40% of the profits till it's paid for. He said, that might take a long time. I said, no, it won't. So he thought it was going to take 3.5 years, and I think it took 2.5 or 2.
Wow.
So he's happy, we're happy.
Yeah.
So we grew the company through that little expansion deal.
Yeah. So it's at a whole nother level now.
Yeah. And we do, my original company did wholesale, big bulk sales to people who can and package.
Yeah.
This guy, we sell packaged already, 25 pounds and less.
Okay.
So, little bodegas. And that's, so whole nother, still beans and rice, or beans and popcorn and stuff, but
yeah,
and some rice now. So, but much
expanding,
different. Yeah, cover the bases.
Yes.
So God has really blessed us there.
Yeah.
As well.
Yeah.
I say us because my daughter and my son-in-law.
Yeah.
Are deeply involved.
Yeah, that's really cool. And what I've gotten to watch from afar is with God's blessing and provision of finances through the company and through your work and integrity, really, you've been extraordinarily generous. What's the mindset that goes into the radical generosity that I've seen from you?
Well, how much does one person need, or one family? And what's his name? Keller. Patrick Keller wrote a book, Die with Zero.
Tim Keller, maybe?
Or maybe Tim.
Yeah.
Something Keller. And so David challenged me to read that book, and I did. And I said, this makes sense.
Yeah.
And so sometimes I donate some money to help some needy person cover a problem, and they don't want to take it.
Yeah.
So I don't want to take your money. That's wrong. So I said, how much money do I need?
Yeah.
Do I need a bigger number on my bank statement? Or will you take the money and solve this issue that you're facing?
Yeah. That's really cool. So, but then I think like the thing that you're most passionate about goes back to your rule of the third time you meet someone, you're going to tell them about Jesus. Tell me about the crosses that you have in little pouches that you give out to people.
Just happen to have one. Did I show you my cross?
You did, yes.
Okay, we'll let them see it. Anyway, I didn't know you could buy a little cross.
Yeah, just a little wooden cross in like a little
bag.
pouch.
But the Friday before Father's Day, me and my daughters were down signing some papers on a trust, and so they said, well, Father's Day just around the corner. We want to take you to lunch. I said, okay, let's go to lunch. So I got to spend, I think it was 4 or 5 hours with my daughters with no spouses and no kids interrupting, and just us focused on each other. So that was cool. So then when we left, my one daughter gives me this little gift bag and said, this is Father's Day, but don't open it until Father's Day, which is 2 days away. I said, okay. So I opened it, and in there was 5 of these little crosses in these bags with a note. Well, first of all, the note started before that. David did the 10 Commandment Bible app.
Yep.
So my daughter and I do that. And the one that says, honor your father and mother, she says, I know you give away your faith. I know you talk to people about Jesus. I know this because I've seen it.
Yeah.
I didn't even know she noticed. So that really touched my heart. So then there's a little note in there. This is to give away to those people you talk to.
Yeah.
And God has really used that amazingly. Uh, the most recent one was my doctor. And I've talked to him about my faith, and he said, "Oh yeah, well I went to church when I was 13, but when I was 13, I didn't have to go no more because my parents didn't make me, so I quit.
Yeah.
Haven't been back since." And so anyway, he's helped me with my autoimmune issues, and the appointment before last, he said, "I'm amazed how fast you've moved along." And I said, "Well, I think the great physician's got his hand in this." And he says, "Plus that, you do what I tell you to do." He says, "You don't believe how many patients I have
Yeah.
that don't follow my advice and then wonder why they don't get better faster."
Yeah.
And I thanked him for moving me from marginal health to good health.
Yeah.
And I said, "And now I'm going to move you closer to Jesus." And I gave him this cross, and it brought tears to his eyes. And I said, "But I don't want you to stick it in your underwear drawer where it gets shoved to the back and you never see it again." I said, "You need to put it someplace you see every day." So he said, "Follow me." So we left the exam room and went to his office, where he took the cross and hung it on his computer monitor. He said,
Wow.
"I'm on this every day, many times.
Yeah.
I will see it every
Yeah.
day."
That's really cool.
So God uses whatever
Yeah.
to touch hearts and remind them that he is here, he's real.
Yeah. So what, as we look at the generation of young people that are coming up, there's so much fascination around money, as there always has been. This is a human thing, right?
Right.
Like we want money, we want to be set, we want that greed kicks in.
Material things.
Yes, and like these different. I see these social media posts about drop shipping businesses, and hey, you can start this or you can do that. You'll be a millionaire in a year, and you can buy this car and get this. With a generation that can make money fast with the internet and what's available to young people now to be able to do that. What do you have to say to these young people coming up and when that's being kind of pushed towards them?
Well, I think their goal is misguided, and my goal is based on relationships. Even my customers. One of my biggest customers, I'm going to mention the name, Goya Foods, is we have them at every convention for dinner, and I always thank them for being there, for being Christ-like. And I said, we are friends, not because we're in bean business together. The bean business introduced us.
Yeah.
We're friends in spite of beans.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they all appreciate that, and they know what I mean.
Yeah.
And I think that's it. You build these relationships with people. Maybe you learn to know them through some sort of business transaction. But what becomes important is that relationship.
Yeah.
And do we sit and talk about Jesus? Yes, we do.
Yeah. So the real currency that we should be after is relationship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And God built us for that.
Yes. Yeah. And in a world where AI is really coming up, I mean, we talk about this. The world's talking about this, and you can get into an AI chatbot and have a relationship there. You're missing out on the real currency that is true human relationship.
It is. And these people, you become their friends. My wife and I go to their kids' weddings.
Yeah.
I mean, we go to their family functions.
Yeah.
Because all of a sudden we're connected more than business. We're connected with our hearts.
Yeah. So what would you tell the young entrepreneur that has begun to walk with integrity in different moments, like you may have had, or like you have had? Maybe they've had similar ones, and they're looking to start a business. What would be like the thing to tell them?
Man, always do what's right ethically and morally.
Yeah.
There might be a shortcut you can take quality of the product and make an extra buck.
Yeah.
But it'll come back and get you.
Yeah.
If not in your pocketbook, in your heart and in your mind, because you will have known what you did.
Yeah.
And you may be able to smooth it over with that customer, but
you know what you did.
You know what you did.
Yeah.
You still got to look at yourself in the mirror. And someday you're going to have to look at your maker.
Yeah. Yeah.
So keep your priorities straight.
Yeah.
Is the key.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Ken, for being here, having this conversation, and being someone who has been able to kind of watch from afar, and we've talked and had different stuff. You inspire me, so thank you.
Well,
for being
thanks. I've been inspired myself by the people that have been in my life.
Yeah.
Parents, good friends, people who really share their heart honestly.
Yeah. Yeah. You can smell it, right? The
Yes.
genuine nature of someone. Yeah.
Just like you can smell the problem of the guy in the bar who's struggling.
Ooh, yeah.
You know?
Wow.
You know, that kind of comes out.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, what hopefully doesn't come out is our, or I guess it will at some point, is our Olipop soda that we have. So we do a rating scale of -10 to +10 with a 0 in the middle. So 0 is indifferent. +1 is I'm beginning to like this. -1 is nope, not for me. So what would you rate this Olipop strawberry vanilla soda? On the Pop
flavor?
Podcast. We do. We have the same one.
I like the flavor.
Yeah.
You know, another flavor I might not like. I think my can being bent kind of ruined the looks. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
I have never had one before. Yes, I would buy it again.
There you go.
I might check out different flavors. Who knows?
Yeah. Yeah.
Live on the edge. What the heck?
Exactly. Man. And we're getting these, Olipop. We're in the Pop Podcast. It all comes together.
It connects.
So I think I would rate this like a solid 3. I think sometimes cream or like that vanilla flavoring can throw it off, but 3 it's good.
Well, I would rate it 1 step higher, and I was going to think about going 2 steps higher, but it doesn't have enough pop.
Yeah.
The fizz is not there.
Yeah.
It's not carbonated or whatever.
Yep. I agree. I like it. Yep. So you're a 4. I'm a 3. There you go. Now you guys know.
You're
More
harder
information.
on them than I.
Yeah.
Hey,
yeah.
Olipop people will be in contact with you soon.
Yeah. See, I'm all in on some of the other ones, but yeah, it's good. Well, thank you, Ken, for joining us, and
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, of
It's
course.
been fun.
Yeah. And thank you guys for tuning in and watching yet again another Pop Podcast episode. Again, we pray that God would send this to whoever needs to see it, and you're going to be a part of that. So when you like this, when you subscribe to the channel, when you share this, if you heard this conversation and you're like, someone needs to hear this, send it to them. When you do those things, it's going to reach the people that need to hear it. And that's our prayer. So thank you for being a part of that. And thank you for watching the Pop Podcast once again. We will post next Wednesday, our next episode. So thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you guys next week. Love ya.
Have a blessed day.
That's it. It's over.